This is Eric Seifert. He's with MAP.
Muscle activation techniques. So my handle is Core Muscle Activation. That's my company. But I do muscle activation techniques, which is a manual therapy that deals with checking through everything, range of motion, muscle testing, and looking. And in this environment, we're looking kind of typically for what's weak, what's not working well for the developing athlete or for performance athletes. But what I'm really dealing with him, I'm going to bridge a bunch of that knowledge into the mechanical side of things, and we're going to work on some of his weaker body parts. No weaker body parts, but generally in his mind, what he thinks are weaker body parts. As long as he stands next to stage next to me, we're good. He's picked out a few exercises that he wants to work on, and we're going to try and make really good stuff even harder or even better for him by customizing a bunch of stuff to make sure he knows how to cue it for him, and some of this stuff hopefully will help you guys. So most people are linked into double exercises all the time.
Yeah.
If they're training with partners, they're like, oh, stuff takes twice as long. But one of the big things we're going to challenge here, if you're really good at shoulders and not as good at tricep, is that we're going to challenge some of the shoulder extension motions. Because most people feel this is just about down, but we're actually going to start to back up, and we're going to stay on one side.
Okay.
So that we're actually trying to extend.
One side, huh?
As opposed to worrying about downwards. This motion looks like down until we get to here, which looks like backwards. So we're going to spend our time thinking backwards and forwards, not up and down.
Really?
Okay? Yes.
Fuck, I watched the video wrong.
We're going to think about fingers more than thumbs.
Yeah.
Okay, and we're going to extend.
Oh,
and
cock the wrist back?
Yeah, we're going to extend the wrist, and we're going to radially deviate.
Really?
Okay? So from here, when you finish, there's your finish, so you can straighten your arm.
Yeah.
The rest of what you've been doing, really hard to straighten your arm down.
Yeah, I've been thinking I've been doing it so right.
There you go, okay? So that's gonna feel like you finish here.
Yeah, what's that?
There you go.
Okay, let me show you what I did before. If I was to do one arm before, I would press down at the bottom.
Yeah. And see, this is called casting the wrist, this pushing down. Yeah. And he's all in the front, he's all this pressure off his index, right? So he's doing a lot of forearm in there.
That's what I would do.
And then he doesn't get a bunch of this.
So I'm going to do
the exact same thing you just did.
All right.
Okay, and so he's got lots of tricep. He's also got lots of shoulder. Yes. Okay, now watch, this is what we're going to change. You stay there.
Yeah.
We're going to get this beside you. Okay. And as you finish, this stays butt up that way. Now it's backwards is back that way. Okay, so if I was pulling on this, how would you stop me? There you go. There
it's
you
different.
go. Okay.
Do it again.
You're going, there you go. Our job is to go that way, right? So I need all these muscles here on the shoulder blade. And I also need these guys. All of these guys right now are trying to stop him from coming at me. There you go. You feel the difference?
Yeah, I'm having to like think about pushing.
You actually have to think about all these guys pushing backwards.
Yeah, like this?
Because it's shoulder extension as much as it's elbow extension, yes? And we're taking that wrist out, then all of a sudden this will lengthen.
Yeah.
And you can slide all this up.
This would be the old way. All right, this is what I would do.
So mostly he wants to go down, right? His whole target is that way, right?
Okay, now.
Okay, but if he squares this off, so now his shoulders have to do something.
Cock the wrist back.
There, this is gonna hang out here.
Yeah.
And then all he's gonna do is just sort of
go backwards.
There you go. So just fight off that downward feeling. If I pushed here, how would you stop me? There you go. If I pushed here and here. There you go. You feel the difference in that now?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, I do actually. Okay, let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Now, this is cocked back like this.
So this is extended.
Yeah.
Right? So an extended wrist, all of a sudden you got some different stuff here, which comes around the other side.
Okay.
And then radial deviation.
Okay, so it's two. It's like that.
Yes, two.
Okay. Okay. I was making sure it was both and not just one.
Because almost everybody goes the other way. Cocks over, flexes, and goes the other way. You worry about quality, quantity takes care of itself. There, so that stays up. There you go.
So should I ever feel the need to brace with the other?
No.
Okay, so I should be able to do
using,
all the work
You're using all
I need.
these guys to brace, right?
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
There you go.
Now
so almost everybody has that want to drop my shoulder thing. So just keep it there and then drive it back. There you go. Right? Now you can choose, depending on how much shoulder motion you have, you could choose to bring this further back if you wanted.
Yeah.
Right? And just keep it there now. Oh, that changed it again.
Yeah, it's way harder.
You have choices to go from, oh, I'll hang out here to, I'll hang out in that position. right?
Now I see that you've this is one of my favorite handles, by the way. I have
Yeah.
a shit of these at my house,
Sure,
and I've transferred. I basically want to throw all the ropes into a trash can and set it on fire. But I want to know what your opinion on is a rope.
Typically, these ropes are too, like,
Yeah.
all of a sudden I got this, that's fine. It's gonna add a whole shit ton of length,
Yeah.
right? So now we're kind of playing with
kneel?
that. No, you're good. You just
Yeah.
gotta, now this is gonna change a little bit. So now we are attached here, so we might have to change something else. But everybody down here hangs out on the butt of this. So what I want you to do, if you're really gonna, we're gonna think about our fingers create grip, right? Because you got great grip. We're gonna think fingers create grip, not palms, because palms, even with your big strong hands, and you're gonna stay off the butt of that.
Oh,
Try that.
interesting. I've never done it that way.
There you go.
Now, if my hand slips down because it's slippery, that's normal?
Yeah, it's your fault. Now you could do a mechanical drop set here. If I said, okay, we're gonna back all the way up, take the machine with you, bring it with you, keep your arm straight though, now hold it there.
Oh, it's harder.
That's real heavier, yeah.
Yeah.
Now here's the battle. See how the shoulders, like, I'm gonna take this out for you. So there.
Yeah.
So my nuts are back here, that's the target, unfortunately. There you go.
So it's harder
now
to
bend the
throw it back
elbow.
and go.
It's way more of this now, right? It's not really pulling you up anymore, is it? It's trying to pull you forward.
going
So
straight
there's a lot more backwards,
Yeah.
right? There's a lot more backwards. Now that handle just makes it a lot easier
Yeah.
for you to hold, where this is the same shape, that is getting bigger.
Yeah. Okay.
Now what you could do is you can start, step in, keep going.
Yeah.
This is your superset now, keep
Oh,
going.
mechanical drop sets are
Yeah,
great. I
yeah,
love
yeah.
those.
So by
This
the
is one
time
way
you're
of doing
here,
that.
this wouldn't work because it's too long, but by the
Okay.
time you're here, this looks like,
Oh, you shortened the hell out of it.
right? This looks like straight up and down.
Mm-hmm.
Very little back, a lot of verticals. This feels like the longest one. This will feel like the shortest one,
Yeah.
but the most amount of that. So all of a sudden the exercise is the same, but totally different by the time you get to the front.
Okay, very cool, very cool.
Okay.
I didn't know that was a mechanical drop
Yeah,
set
yeah,
version
yeah.
of tricep pushdowns.
Yeah.
All
Or
right,
you
do
could-
you have a double handle variation of this?
Yeah.
To save time.
So one of the things I would do, again, they go with something that is way too narrow.
Narrow, yeah.
Way too narrow.
So I got
Okay?
really wide
you
shoulders.
have wide shoulders, really long arms. You're built like a monkey, like me. More like a gorilla. I'm more a monkey, I guess. So from here, if I was going to stay wide, well, the big target is your biceps should face front.
Okay.
Too many people with the narrow grip stuff
Yeah, they're like this.
are set up with elbows facing in. So then all of a sudden, this is the motion.
Yeah.
But most people kind of end up doing all kinds of different things, and then we start wondering why elbows and wrists, all that stuff gets in. So the same thing here. You see how my hands get wider?
Yeah.
Most people just, it's like, oh, their shoulders
Yeah.
are actually doing extra work, not their triceps. So we're gonna think about that middle back, and it would feel like I go from wide to wider. If we bring those biceps facing front, that was a choice at your shoulders, yes?
Yeah.
And then that takes the hands out there.
Whoa.
Okay, so you're gonna stay there.
Yeah.
Okay, so as you come down, that's already feeling wide.
Oh, I got you.
There you go. Okay, so even those big arms of yours is gonna feel, yeah, there you go. So your job is to hold this still.
Now, can you do a mechanical drop set by stepping back further?
Absolutely. Same thing.
Okay.
All of a sudden that starts feeling like the shorter range,
Yeah.
but there's way more of it pulling that way.
Yeah.
right?
There's not as much stretch at the top here.
No, oh, it's gonna feel like it ends up like, oh, it almost, if we went higher than that'd be a bicep exercise, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so you can say, wow, there's the short one. And as I start to get tired, I walk my way in. Now it's gonna feel like it gets a little longer. There you go, that's it. And just keep this solid. And here's the funny thing, push your feet through the floor. The more you drive your legs through the ground, the better.
Okay, how do I do that exactly? Just straighten my legs?
No, you can bend your knees, but
Oh.
the idea, if I stood on you and you pushed,
Oh.
how would you stop me? You'd shove, not back, just think through the ground. There,
Oh.
there you go.
Oh, I got you.
There you go. So the big thing, almost everybody wants to like let their hands dictate where their shoulders go,
Yeah.
right? Now this is the longest one, right? There you go.
There's a lot of it's a lot of nuance on one exercise, and a lot of things you can do with just one exercise.
Yeah, one silly little exercise, and you can play with all those different things, right?
Okay.
Okay, makes
Yeah.
sense?
So do you take some of those principles with the wrist and the pronation, this is called pronation, and the pulling the back shoulders, pressing against back on, say, like an incline seated tricep push down and other types of variations too?
Yeah, there's some different, well, so depending on where the force is, there's gonna be some shoulder changes, but a lot of this stuff, I'm trying to get them out, their wrists out of it. A lot of casting exercises for, right, when somebody says, oh, I'm doing, it's like, oh, like, what are you doing? Oh, I'm doing tricep stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's wrist stuff? I don't
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
They're doing skull crushers and all you see is this. I'm like, are you signaling Cobras? What's happening right now? Have you ever done a decline, like hammer, skull crusher, like dumbbell?
I love that exercise.
Okay.
It's funny you mentioned that. We got a really good decline board in our gym recently, and I've always liked the decline version of the dumbbell skull crushers. Always felt that stretch at the bottom.
That's a better,
It's a good one. I've made good exercise choices sometimes, I see.
Yeah, okay, well, let's take a look at it real quick.
Sure.
You wanna do that?
So I like to grab it with my hands closer to the head here.
Good.
And then I like to kind of get a stretch done here.
Yep.
And kind of keep that locked like that.
Good, okay. So what have I said to you? I want you to think about your elbows, your upper arm stays here.
Yeah.
Now, can you externally rotate your upper arm the other way? So
No.
that the bicep, is that the best you got?
Yep.
Okay, that's fine. So we're gonna try and maintain that though. That happened with your shoulders though, right?
Yeah.
So remember, these are going this way towards the ceiling.
Okay.
Okay, they're not going backwards.
The elbows.
They're coming towards me.
These are.
Yeah, push.
Oh,
push.
like
protract.
Like this.
Protract, yeah. Now you don't have to go below tabletop here, but it's gonna feel like backwards, not upwards. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
You've been going downwards.
Yeah.
And I'm saying the shoulder is going towards the ceiling.
Yeah.
Yes? But that stays there. Now these dumbbells are coming towards me.
Okay.
There you go. Because the dumbbells, if I said you're throwing them that way,
Yeah.
not the ceiling is not your target. You have to throw them around a corner.
Oh.
There
like
you
that.
go. So you're trying to go that way. So that means on the way out, you're going towards me. You're not coming down.
Oh.
You're handing them to me. Could you hand them to me? There you go. Now go from there. Go. Imagine you stop just before you hand it to me. There. There you go. How's that feel now?
Oh, it's hard. There's
That
constant tension in the muscle now.
Constant tension.
Yeah.
Who likes that? This position, you're busy doing this.
Yeah.
So this is not a stretch. This is you resting.
Okay. Yeah.
This is you resting.
Damn it.
You're resting. So from here, if this is going this way,
Yeah.
right, there is my stretch. If I went below parallel, I still have to keep this going this way.
Yeah.
I find that if I'm trying to stay, this is as heavy as it can get, right? This is as long as it can get, right? This is the greatest distance. So from here, if I said, all right, there's my stretch, I'm pushing that way, right? But I'm trying, this is like a stamp, I'm trying to go towards the mirror,
Okay.
okay? So I'm
And
not
then
trying to
you're
go
trying to
up.
hand it back to someone here.
I'm trying to do this,
Yeah.
right? Elbow tabletop, straighten, okay? So I'm trying to finish that way.
Okay.
And there's that same kind of extension versus here. Now you have a
Okay.
tendency to do this. Do you see how this made this distance shorter?
Yeah.
So this is another rest, right? Now if you can't get this, which is
Yeah,
fine,
my shoulder. I feel that my shoulders.
which is fine. This is shoulders, right?
I think it's just actually my shoulders have good mobility, but they're just there's stuff in the way.
Yeah,
like
there's
there's
a lot
muscle
of-
in the way
there's
of
a lot
other
of
muscle
muscle,
in the
for
way
sure.
of other muscles. So it's
But
like
if I
it's-
said, hey,
it's bunched up.
this is turning open and pushing towards the ceiling, right?
Yeah.
For whatever you've got. And then they just stay here. They just stay where they are. Yeah, there you go. There you go. And just this is where almost everyone puts all their attention in their hands when really the thing we wanted to pay attention to is here, right?
Yeah.
There you go. So the dumbbell doesn't matter. The dumbbell's a passenger. The vehicle's over here. There you go. So this would still feel like serratus and a bunch of stuff is still working, yes?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
all those muscle groups are still supposed to work.
Yeah, they're still involved. Because that shoulder blade is trying to go this way, towards the ceiling.
Yeah. All right. All right. Interesting. I think it's going to take some time to get used to. This isn't something that's like, okay, I got it. I'm going to do it from now on. I think I just have to.
So the challenge would be, this is coming towards me, right? So you're
Yeah.
pushing me away. Now you're pushing me away in the same direction twice. Does that make more sense?
Yeah, I'm pushing
Okay,
with both
yeah.
my elbow and my wrist.
Your shoulder and your elbow
And
are
that's the
all
same
going
back
at-
there. I was pushing
Same
back
thing.
on the elbow
Yeah.
because you were pushing my elbow back on my nose.
Same rule, right? Right?
Okay.
But this turns into how can I get my delts into it in a different way,
Yeah.
right? And then this is an area you get monstrous development. So it's not a bad thing, but it's like, but if it takes away from something else, you're like, how do I get You know, it's not just about performance because you move a lot of weight. That's not the issue at all.
Right.
Right? Nobody, if you lifted 5 pounds and looked like you, theoretically, no one would care, right?
Yeah.
But if you turn around and say, wow, I've got to put it here because these guys take over, right?
Interesting.
That makes sense?
So let's do this. Since he's got so many good things to say, we're going to split this video up into a couple pieces.
Sure.
Okay, so this is part 1. I hope you enjoyed the tricep portion of this video because these are exercises we all do all the time in the gym. And I've never had anyone look at them that closely, which is, and explain them that closely.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting. So we're gonna do another video here, and that one's also already uploaded. And you can check the member section of the site. We have a couple secret videos. You can see where I ask them a couple off-the-wall questions just to kind of see what happens. The next video is going to be hamstrings. We're going to pick stiff leg because I've been complaining to everybody that I just can't feel my hamstrings in stiff leg variations because it just feels like a stretch, and it feels like my lower back and my core and everything are kicking in too much for me to isolate the hamstrings.
Sure, perfect.
So we're going to do that in the next video.